Hi friends, very good evening. We are in the another session of Point Dotted with Machine Maker, and today we have very young, very beautiful Ayantika Datta with us. Thank you, Ayantika, for joining with Point Dotted in the Machine Maker Point Dotted program.
Thank you so much, Hari sir, for inviting me.
Yeah. So basically, in these talk shows, we see that leading industry people come. Today we are having a student, and I'm very happy to have you as our special guest. So before going to Ayandika, I will just tell about her. She is studying her second year UG program on sustainable development. Yes, this is the first time I know that there is a sustainable development course also, which is now she's studying in XIM University in Bhubaneswar, and she's also a member of C40 Cities 40, where they are trying to build green economy. And I came to know about Ayantika Datta when I was interacting and working with Mass Foundation, Mobility, Alliance, and Social Sustainable Foundation, where these people, these young green warriors, are working towards electric mobility, and how they can develop the sustainable development goals. I am working with manufacturing industry, especially with MSMEs, for a very long time. We talk sustainability, or we hear sustainability when it comes to large corporates, but when it comes to SMEs, MSMEs, these are not those terms which we often hear. And I am not sure that the 17 SDGs, what the United Nations have put in, I'm not sure every people know about it. So I thought this is a great opportunity. A very young person who is very passionate about sustainable development. When we, it will be nice to hear from her to understand the basic. That is what we are going to talk with you, Ayandika. So can you just talk about what is the sustainable development goals all together?
Right. So, first, let me, actually give you a understanding of what sustainable development is, and then perhaps, I can shed some light on what sustainable development goals are. So, when I talk about sustainable development, to define it, it is going to be basically, meeting the needs of the present without hampering the chances of the future generation to meet their own demands, right? So, to break the word sustainable and development, right? So, development is essentially, supposed to be holistic in nature. You cannot call something developed if just one aspect of it is developed and the other aspect is being hampered. I'm sure, as we proceed in this conversation, we'll have more clarity on what I'm trying to say here. But yeah, sustainable development is a form of development which focuses on all the spheres, which is economic, social, and yeah, I think, am I audible? I think my internet was broken.
No, no, you are audible. Please go ahead.
Yeah. So a development which is focused on the three pillars of sustainability, which is social, environmental, and economic. Right. Now, sustainable development goals. These are basically 17 set of goals or principles that helps an organization, to focus on those goals, for form their actionables and work towards a sustainable society, in a society where everybody is co-beneficial. So that is what basically sustainable development is.
Uh, this is good. So why UN need to come out with this 17 sets? Now you told there is
Sorry.
17. There is 17
Hmm.
goals or 17 sets
Hmm.
of goals, which is
Hmm.
set by United Nations.
Hmm.
What was the requirement for United Nations to come with such a program? What is the necessity?
Right. So you see, before the SDGs, there were something called MDGs, which were Millennium Development Goals. Now,
Okay.
Millennium Development Goals had 8 goals, which focused on education, poverty, maternal health, um, child mortality, again environmental sustainability and partnership. But the problem was with that was it was more focused on the social angle and not on the economic or the environmental angle. So that's why the development that was happening was not 360-degree or very holistic in nature, and that's why there was this with failures, or you can say with our own mistakes, we learn what implementations or what new uh, uh, things we should do, basically the learnings. And through that learnings, the United Nations came up with these new 17 SDGs, which emphasizes in the same manner on all the three pillars, which is social, environmental, and economic.
See, if you see that when it comes to studies, when we are in colleges and all those things, there are a lot of things we study, in physics or mathematics, uh, history, geography, many, many subjects. Even in the higher studies, we study a lot of stuff, even in engineering for that matter. But when it comes to real life, all these things actually don't apply. We study something and then we go and work something on a different way. Now, when we are talking about the sustainable development goals, whatever you are talking about, the economic angle, the social angle, the environment angle, how it really affects a normal person in his real life.
Mhm. So that's a good question, because this is a question that we get to hear often. Um, So you see, I would not say that what we have studied back in school is totally not relevant or applicable to the real life, because studying about those lays those bases for you to build up your foundation. So foundation is an important thing for anything, right? Now, when we're talking about sustainability and how it affects a common man, now it's in a different it's in different angles. It affects us in terms of health, in terms of where we would be, so for example 20 years from now, because of the sea levels rising, or the cyclones hitting the coastal areas of India, just talking about India, and how it is impacting our jobs or the economy of the nation, which would also determine our livelihood or the social welfare for us. So it's in various ways that a common man is impacted.
Yeah, well, some of the points what you told right now is very much visible right now. You see the changes in the environment today, the changes in the climate. It is completely different. This year we have seen more rainfall at many places. Even right now, when we are talking, even in the Kerala, there are a lot of floods happening. Same thing happening in different, northeastern states or northern states. So there are a lot of problems happening. How it can affect, or how a manufacturing SME or manufacturing MSME, people working in the manufacturing, can make a difference in adopting any of these SDGs.
Mhm. Okay, so first let me go to the relevance of the um, sustainable sustainable development goals for the manufacturing sector. So yes, of course, firstly it is very much relevant for the Indian manufacturing sector, uh, you know, uh, to adopt SDGs, and not just the organized or the big manufacturing players, but also the unorganized or the MSMEs uh, of India. Because you see, the share of the MSMEs in all India GDP is 30.27% in financial year 2018 to 2019, compared to 29.34% in 2014 to 2015. Now, this figure, draws two conclusion. A, the MSME sector is growing, which indicates a lot of, innovations are happening, and thus the sector is developing, right? And because it is a growing sector, it is number one, vulnerable, which the COVID proved, right? And number two, it is also a sector which has a lot of space to adapt new technologies, new ways to flourish, and bring in, a change in terms of how they function, their innovation, or how their, businesses is co-beneficial to their economies, as in profits, different stakeholders like consumers and their employees, and at the same time the environment, right? Because the aim, even as per the national manufacturing policy, is not just to have a transitional shift in this sector in terms of the share it is contributing to the GDP, but how ensuring the sustainability of growth, particularly with regards to the environment, it is contributing to the economic growth of the country. Now, sustainability is not just about the environment, right? Like I mentioned previously. But here I also said that it's how ensuring the sustainability of growth in regards to the environment, the MSME is contributing to the economy matters, right? So why did I say that? Or why should one care at all if the motive of SME is to survive and to make profit? Hasan, the problem is not profit making. The problem is assuming that the resources that they're using are infinite. And this is why business as usual that we have been talking about post COVID is a road towards a disaster. Because what I feel is that it works on the assumption that resources are infinite, right? Now, here is where this beautiful concept of circular economy comes into the picture. And I will also tell you why it is important for the manufacturing sector to have a circular economy business model. So, circular economy business model is a type of model where the materials or energy from the discarded products or byproducts are reintroduced in the economic system. To simplify the concept of circular economy, it is basically based on the concepts of reducing, reusing, recycling, and repurposing. So, for example, water, which is the most utilized resource in this sector, instead of throwing away the wastewater in the river or the nearby water bodies, you can recycle it, repurpose it, and then reuse the water instead of again collecting gallons of fresh water, right? So this reduces the burden on the environment, and of course, in a way also helps avoid more emissions. But in return, by reducing the burden on the environment, what we are doing is we as manufacturers would also get, actually would we would get those return in terms of economic benefit. And like I am no economic students, but I do understand when there is a shortage of materials or resources and a high demand, the cost of the materials or those resources are automatically going to increase, right? So, like, are you getting the point?
Now, I
Um,
got your point. I got your point, Ayantika. Again, I would like to, whatever you are telling is absolutely fine. And you being a sustainable development student, that also in India, tomorrow, and there are many other students who are also studying there. 3 years of your undergraduate program, maybe you are also go for a postgraduate program. After that, you need to be where you are going to get placed or where you are going to work also very important. What I mean to say is, in India, I will give you two examples. In
hmm,
India, in Mahindra and Mahindra is a big corporate. Like that, many big corporates or companies which who are doing a little bit well, above margin, they do this rainwater harvesting. They reuse, repurpose, and recycle this water. And not only that, many things, because they are working towards the sustainable development goal. They are aware. They have the muscle power and resources to do that. But as you know, that is very simple. They are large companies, large money, but they are very less in number. The more number less, that 30% GDP, the MSMEs you are talking about, or the other medium companies you are talking about, very large. They are the major chunk. They don't know this. They don't have the even the awareness is there. Their purpose is not to come to Ayantika and take your advice and invest in these activities or put resources in these activities. This is a big challenge. I would like to have your views on the one. Another thing I would like to tell you, I have seen many companies who are working. I'm just an example, industrial lubricants.
Mhm.
In Europe, there are certain standards in which only you can manufacture that lubricant, which is very costly because you need to take care of the climate. You need to take care of the environment. You are not supposed to put any kind of harmful stuff into the nature. But when it comes to India or the underdeveloped countries or developing countries, they don't care. They manufacture anything and everything. Eventually, even the European companies who are there in India also, sometimes they are forced to do that because some of the people are not ready to pay that money, resource. How we will be overcoming that? Because this is a very serious issue, Ayantika. What do you feel?
It is a very serious issue. And Hari sir, what I feel the most, engraving challenge here is the conversation that we are having about sustainability, climate change. When talking about, a country like India, where MSMEs are struggling to survive, right, and especially post COVID, the problem is the problem is that the problem is not that they are not willing to pay. The problem is that we are not able to make them understand why should they pay. See, the thing with nature is that the hazard that we are causing to her today, the result, we are not facing it today itself, but we are facing it tomorrow. So the conversation that we are having around, climate change has to change from, okay, it is going to affect the ice cap which is in Arctic, which is millions of miles away from me, or it is going to alter the rain. We have to rather talk about how that alteration of the rain, or how that flooding in one particular area is going to affect your particular organization. How, if you become a sustainable or a circular business model, you can become future proof. So that is what we need to talk about, instead of saying, okay, what, the temperatures are going to rise. Because if I am somebody who's trying to survive, I will not really care if the temperatures are going to rise, right? But I will care if tomorrow I tell you, okay, what, this is what it is having, and I show you the statistics. You will be saying, okay, I want to um, um, protect myself. Why do you do that for your computers? Why do you take antivirus? Because you know the threats, right? If I do not have any antivirus in my computer system, tomorrow a hacker might just come and all my details are going to be uh, gone, and I might just become bankrupt. So that's the threat we have been talking about, right? So that's how the conversation has to go around.
Yeah, this is very, very interesting. And I think, Ayantika, this is just a start. Mary Sabina Peters just, shared in the comment box that, and thanks to you for this encouraging comment, Mary. But our purpose is also that, whatever we are discussing right now, it should just not remain as a discussion. We should take small, small steps towards it. And I think it is very important that people like you, who is very passionate towards, and you are the future, Ayantika. The way you are talking, I'm sure that you will be able to inspire many. You will be able to influence many to change. So we will also see that what kind of programs colleges or universities like XIM University can do with the industry to make a change in making creating this awareness among our people, showing them the threat for the future generation, what the steps need to take. What do you think that how people like you or people like XM University can make a difference?
Right. So my university and with my professors, there are a couple of researches going on ground to actually understand the threats, um, because of this climate change that the different sectors are going to face, and a few on ground technical microbiology researches which are going on. Other than that, what we in industry, as a university do is that we also conduct workshops, right? We have like ongoing projects. We have a partnership with Millennium Fellowship, right, where there are different projects which have come up from the university. Like there is one which talks about Chilica Junior Rangers, which is focusing on making the Chilika Lake plastic free. So we are involving the stakeholders over there. So basically, the women, the children, helping them understand how you can recycle this plastics to also generate income for you, and also in the process, clean, make the Chilika Lake plastic free. So, from my university, I have really gotten this, uh, push to actually go forward and do any project that I want to do. So you would not hear a no, what, don't do this. They would rather come and consult with you and help you move forward. So that's what, as UG students, we are doing. I haven't yet talked to my PG, I mean my seniors, but I'm sure that they are involved in much more events than the UG students.
I think I will try to take a step. I will try to talk to some of the industrial estates, industrial associations. If we are able to come together with your university and with those industrial association, if we can take a particular area and try to see that there are around 100 MSMEs, otherwise 50 MSMEs are having their factories, and how they are contributing, or how they can help in developing, taking these SDGs and get benefited themselves and for the environment. I will try to do something on that, Ayantika. So at least we can take a step from here. I understand one thing is that this is a very serious issue. This sustainable development goals. It is not just which is very good written in some pages, a very good website of UN, United Nations, or maybe some corporates have lots of money. They are using CSR. It is not like that. It is all affecting us. We ourselves are seeing the floods, the summer, the heat wave, hot waves, and we are all getting affected by that. But I also would like to take this opportunity to congratulate people like Ayantika. She is a representative of our youth of this country, and many members who are in that C40 cities in India and abroad, who is doing these kind of activities. Friends, they are not getting even a single rupee for all these things. And these are all, I think, the passionate work you people are doing, right, Ayantika?
Yes, sir.
Means it's not about money, it's about what we should give back to the society and how we should live responsibly. So congratulations to you, Ayantika, and we will see that how we can add value and how we can add a step along with your initiatives. Thank you very much for coming and joining in this show, and we would love to have you again in Point Noted in Machine Maker. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir.